You didn't run out of talent. You didn't run out of time. You ran out of a plan that actually worked, and the worst part? You probably blamed yourself. Most woodworkers do. Stay with me for the next 5 minutes, because what I'm about to show you has nothing to do with your skill level, your tools, or the size of your shop. It has everything to do with one single mistake that silently destroys most wood projects before the first cut is even made. Picture this. It's Saturday morning. You cleared your schedule. You've got your lumber, your measurements, your coffee. You're finally doing it. You sit down with the plan you found online or bought from some site, and everything looks great. Clean layout, nice diagrams, step-by-step instructions. You feel good. You feel ready. Then you get to step 4, and something doesn't add up. A measurement that contradicts the diagram. A step that jumps from cut the side panels straight to attach the face frame with absolutely nothing in between. You stop, you reread it, you measure again, and slowly that Saturday morning energy starts draining out of you. You go back to the plan. You try to make sense of it. Maybe you search for a video. Maybe you ask someone in a forum. An hour passes, then 2. The lumber is still sitting there untouched, and by the time you figure it out, or give up trying, the weekend is gone. Sound familiar? Here's what's actually happening. The plan wasn't finished. It looked finished. It had all the right visual signals, the clean layout, the photo of the completed piece, the professional formatting. But somewhere between the person who drew it and the person trying to build from it, the real information got lost. The assembly order, the hardware specs, the tolerances that make the difference between a joint that closes clean and one that leaves a gap you can fit your finger in. And this is the part nobody talks about, because the woodworking world is full of plans that look complete, but aren't. Plans that were never actually built by the person who sold them. Plans that are essentially a photograph of a finished piece with some numbers attached. And when you try to follow one of those plans and it falls apart, you don't blame the plan. You blame yourself. You think you're not experienced enough. You think you need better tools. You think maybe woodworking just isn't for you. But that's not the truth. The truth is that a good plan, a really good plan, should feel like having an experienced woodworker standing right next to you, not just telling you what to build, but walking you through every cut, every joint, every moment, where a beginner would naturally get stuck. It should have been built before you ever see it. The mistakes should have been caught already, in someone else's workshop, not yours. Now, I'm not here to sell you on anything, but I will say this. There's a resource I've been pointing people toward lately, and the reason I keep mentioning it is simple. The plans in it were actually built and tested before they were published. Every single one. That means the measurements are verified, the steps are complete. The materials list tells you exactly what to buy, down to the last screw, so you don't end up at the lumberyard twice on a Saturday. It's called Ted's Woodworking, and if you're tired of plans that fall apart halfway through, it might be worth a look. The link is in the comments. No pressure. Just check it out when you get a chance. Now back to the mistake itself, because understanding why this happens is what's going to protect every project you build from here on out. The single mistake that destroys most wood projects is starting with a plan you haven't tested. Not tested as in looked at carefully. Tested as in, can you follow every single step in order without having to stop and interpret anything? Can you read step 3 and know exactly what step 4 is going to ask you to do? Does the cut list match? The diagram? Does the diagram match the finished piece? Most people skip this. They find a plan that looks good, they buy the lumber, and they start cutting. And that's where the damage happens. Because once you've made the first cut based on a bad measurement, you're not fixing it. You're starting over. And that's not just frustrating, that's expensive. Here's what to do instead. Before you buy a single board, sit down with your plan and read it like a story. Start at step 1 and follow every instruction in your head, visualizing the build as you go. Every time you hit a gap, a step that assumes you already know something, a measurement that doesn't match a diagram, a material that appears in the instructions but not the list, write it down. Those gaps are landmines. Find them on paper before you find them in your shop. If the plan can't survive that test, it's not ready, and you've just saved yourself a weekend. The woodworkers who consistently build beautiful pieces, the ones whose projects actually look the way they pictured them, They're not more talented than you. They're not better equipped. They just stopped tolerating incomplete plans. They got ruthless about the quality of their blueprints before they ever picked up a saw. That one shift changes everything. It changes how you start a project. It changes how you spend your weekends. It changes how you feel when you walk into your shop, from anxious and second-guessing to confident and ready to build. You already know what you want to make. You've probably been picturing it for a while. The deck out back, the dining table your family actually gathers around, the toy chest your grandkids' eyes light up over. None of that is out of reach. The only thing standing between you and that finished piece is a plan that actually works. And now you know exactly what to look for. If you want a shortcut to that, the link is in the comments. Check it out, see if it's a fit. Either way, go build something. This weekend, you've got everything you need.